Welcome back to Thundersport Naked. We're at Oulton Park and it's time for the HEL performance. Streetfighters on pole position will be number 9. Reese Rothwell, who's second in the championship overall, behind Sean Goldsmith in the Street Fighter A standings. There's Martin Stanier, who's a regular with ThundersportGB a year or two ago. Royal Air Force there. That's Mick Riddle, riding for the RAF Motorsports Association on the Kawasaki, third on the grid, and fourth for Poppy, Ian Popplewell, who rides in the Street Fighter B Championship. Of course, A, B and C, separated by engine size, capacity, brake horsepower, etc. Full grid of bikes ready to go. It's Goldsmith that leads Street Fighter A, Popplewell that leads Street Fighter B, and Tony Hughes, Mr. Punch, that leads the Street Fighter C Championship. And away from the line and into turn 1, around the outside, that is number 9, Reese Rothwell. He's done very well there to get himself up into the lead. Martin Stanier, number 121, out there on the Suzuki, will try and get, there he is in third place, and Mick Riddle just running a little bit wide into Cascades. Number of riders from this class that have moved on to the Golden Era Superbikes, and there's no longer Jamie Wilkins, the likes of Denia the Meerkat, Keith Smith, of course, has injured, got a yellow flag already. And there's a bike that has gone down just in the top of the picture there at Island Bend. It's a fast place to be coming off. So we have a rider down. There's Reese Rothwell. I think it's Dominic Clegg that might have gone down. He's not come through on the timing screen, so hopefully Dominic's okay. Rothwell it is that goes over the hilltop as your race leader, with number 121 Stanier in second place. It's Poppy in third, Mick Riddle fourth, Steve Bradbury in fifth. Number 14 is Brad Davey, the leading Street Fighter C runner. You can see there on the Supermoto bike. We're running on the Oulton Park GP circuit, of course, 2.78 mile. That records 147.6. Jamie Wilkins. I don't think that's going to be beaten anytime soon. That was a whopper of a time set last year by Jamie. Down into Lodge Corner for the first time. Here comes Rothwell, but he's being shadowed by Martin Stanier. Martin, who used to run in the Street Fighter B Championship and has taken numerous victories in his time with ThundersportGB, looking to get himself some more points in Street Fighter A. He's currently 6th overall in the standings and almost 100 points behind Sean Goldsmith, leader of the championship. But Sean Goldsmith not out on circuit, so there's a chance for them to catch up in the point standings before we head to Snetterton and Norfolk next. Mick Riddle, currently the leading Street Fighter B. Apparently he's got himself up ahead of Ian Popplewell, so there's a good scrap going on there, and there's a good scrap for the Street Fighter A overall as Rothwell tips into Island Bend and just cuts off the nose of Martin Stanier in second place. Rothwell out there on the Triumph 675, you can probably tell from that zingy noise as they exit Shell Oils. Ahead of the screaming 750 Suzuki and Martin Stanier. And there is Mick Riddle, number 44, he's got himself up ahead of Ian Popplewell. Mick Riddle, of course, one of the riders that's in the Motordex Performance First Combined Military Services Championship that Thundersport put together this year. And certainly in the Street Fighters, Mick Riddle leads it, number 45. Other members of the forces that are out in the Street Fighters, number 22, Tim Daisley from the Army, Rob Chisholm from the Army, and Kes Bradley. There's number 27, and that's Barry Rudge, Flipper. He's currently 15th overall, 5th in the Street Fighter B class, just up ahead of number 76, Carl Doyle, out there on the Yamaha R1 that's been converted into a Street Fighter, but actually only counts for Street Fighter Extreme points due to the fact that that's a larger capacity engine. There's number 9, Rothwell then. His brother Curtis will be out in the Mini Twins Championship this season. Another programme on ThundersportGB you can see on Motors TV, but Reese is flying the flag for the Rothwell family at the moment, up ahead of Martin Stanier, who's just almost weighing him up at the moment, just finding out where he may be able to overtake. There's Mick Riddle in third, number 44, and 17, Ian Popplewell. Poppy in fourth place. Good friends, of course, with Keith Smith, the rider that's moved over to the Golden Era Superbikes this year, but well, he won't be riding anymore this year after a few accidents over in Mexico. As Brad Davey goes through, Keith, I can tell you, is okay. Seen as, I can tell you that because he's sending me sarcastic text messages, but he has been battered and bruised. Hopefully, he said he's going to try and make it to Cadwell Park to watch around there and maybe Anglesey, but he won't be riding again this year, I very much doubt. The HEL Performance Street Fighters then, the B Championship, despite the fact that Mick Riddle's leading it, he's got a lot of points catching to do. Of course, he does regularly fly out to represent the country for the forces, so he's not able to attend every single round, and that does hamper his chances in the championship. Ian Popplewell currently looking favourite to do. There's number 2, that's Andy Plaskett on a Suzuki, who's making his way through his ease. Andy Plaskett's ahead of Steve Bradbury and Tony Hughes out on circuit. Tony Hughes has got himself ahead of Brad Davey for the Street Fighter C Championship. But at the front of the race overall, it's still Rothwell fending off Martin Stanier. Stanier's lap times are just slightly quicker. He's snicked into the 49s, whereas Rothwell's lapping in the low 1:50s. Into Old Hall Corner they go, and they're about to come across 1 or 2 back markers. We've lost another couple of riders in the last few laps. Lee Hutchinson fell on lap 1, and Darren Smith went AWOL number 50 on lap 2. There's number 32, and that's Adam Palfreman, currently 8th overall, and just on the podium, just makes it onto the podium with that, 3rd place in Street Fighter B. Adam Palfreman, who's 2nd overall behind Poppy in the standings, and he's just up ahead of Mr. Punch, Tony Hughes, number 35 there. The reigning Street Fighter C champion, looking to defend that title this year, and he's got himself a 47-point lead over Brad Davey, and he will extend that if he wins here. Now, there is, of course, the championship, the Street Fighter Extreme Point standings, which is a combination of Street Fighter A, B and C overall, as we just see there, number 32, Adam Palfreman and Tony Hughes coming up to put a lap on Al Brown. The Street Fighter Extreme standings, Reese Rothwell, who leads the race, number 9, is actually leading that championship overall from Andy Plaskett and Tony Hughes. So 2 Street Fighter A runners in the top 2, with Tony Hughes, the Street Fighter C runner, in 3rd overall. So this would be good enough to extend the championship lead, despite the fact that he's lost out to Martin Stanier somewhere out on circuit. Stanier put in a 49.8 that time around. It was a 50.2 for Reese Rothwell, and the last lap flag is out. And well, Martin Stanier's left it late to make his move, but it's a good time to do it, and he's putting himself in front of 1 or 2 riders. And as he filters his way through the traffic, this is a great opportunity and a good time to lead for Martin Stanier. I'm not sure that Reese Rothwell is going to be able to catch up now and do anything about this lead. There he is, number 9, just trying to find some sort of way past David Etherington. He's about to lap him. David in 18th place, but as they go into Britain's, it's looking as though number 121 here, Martin Stanier, well, he was 6th in the Street Fighter A Cup Championship. He's going to move up. He's currently 6th overall in the Street Fighter Extreme standings, so he could get himself up into the top 3 or 4 here with a win. There's Ian Popplewell, number 17, currently 4th on circuit and 2nd in the Street Fighter B's class, behind Mick Riddle. There's Adam Palfreman, just up ahead of the Street Fighter C winner, provided he makes it around the circuit. It doesn't do anything too silly. Tony Hughes there, number 35. He's going to have a go. Up the inside he goes of Adam Palfreman on his KTM, but across the line to take overall victory and receiving the checker flag. Martin Stanier wins it, number 121, ahead of Reese Rothwell. Mick Riddle takes 3rd place and wins Street Fighter B ahead of Ian Popplewell. Andy Plaskett finishes in 5th, and Steve Bradbury 6th place. And there is the Street Fighter A podium. Stanier, Rothwell and Andy Plaskett. Street Fighter B's Mick Riddle wins from Popplewell and Palfreman. And in Street Fighter C, it's Tony Hughes, Brad Davey and Matt Chillings. So the Street Fighter Extreme points. Rothwell it is that leads from Stanier. He's lifted himself up to second. Plaskett in third ahead of Ian Popplewell. Tony Hughes fifth and Adam Pelfreyman in sixth.
HEL Performance Street Fighter Class C winner Tony Hughes. Tony, a great race out there today.
Yeah, it's very warm for all of us, and you just get a lot of fluid on board really before you go out. And I just had a lot of problems with the bike yesterday, so I only got one lap of qualifying in, so I'm a bit nervous about the bike making it for the full race, and then it did, and it pulled it out for me. So I did well, caught up a few lads, and had some good battles out there, and so I'm really pleased.
That's brilliant. Tony, who would you like to thank?
I'd just like to thank Sparklight Racing for keeping my bike going and on the track, and I'd just like to thank Susan for all the work she puts in behind the scenes.
Oh, Class B winner, Mick Riddle. How are you, Mick?
Oh, very good, thank you.
How was the racing out there today?
It was a bit warm, but it wasn't too bad. Not as hot as yesterday, but it was a good battle with Ian Popplewell. He's always been one of my heroes in the Street Fighter class, and it's good to have a bit of a dice with him. I think my bike's a little bit quicker up the hills, which is what gave it to me in the end.
Who would you like to thank today?
First and foremost, my wife Tori, for all the help she gives me. Christine from Cougar Levers, Thundersport themselves for giving us Forces discount, because that helps a great deal. And I'd also like to raise an awareness to the Coming Home charity, who help provide home conversions and houses for disabled soldiers and airmen and Marines that come back from Afghan.
That's excellent. Thanks very much for that, Mick Riddle, race winner of Class B, HEL Performance Street Fighters. Congratulations.
Cheers, thanks so much.
Martin Stanier, congratulations, Class A winner.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's taken us a while to get the bike set up how we want it, but sun's shining and everything went to plan today. Followed Reese for a while, and then last couple of laps we managed to get past him and keep it to the finish. So we're delighted, mate. Yeah.
Who would you like to thank, Martin, for your performance today?
Well, we're a bit of a family affair, so all the family really. That's Caroline, Megan, and especially Zach, my lad, who always helps me out and gets the bike prepped and what have you. So big thanks to them.
Martin, thanks very much. Congratulations, race winner in Class A, HEL Performance Street Fighters. Well done, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Moped, sports bikes, U-shaped watts, any bike, it makes no odds. We will give you what you need, best price always guaranteed. Come to us and get a quote, you'll be singing note for note. Walk away with cash to spend on anything you want, my friend. Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer.
Get the cheapest bike insurance, guaranteed, only from the Bike Insurer.
Well, next up then, it's the HEL Performance Street Fighters, the HEL Performance Street Fighters, as Sean Goldsmith, who's not here, he was the championship leader coming into the event, but he might not hold on to that by the end of it. There is another one of the Rothwell brothers, that's Reese, as he's on pole position. Next to him, Martin Stanier, number 121, a former Street Fighter B runner, but he's up onto the Street Fighter A's for this season on the Suzuki, and he's alongside RAF competitor Mick Riddle, who leads the Street Fighter Forces competition. He's second overall. There's Ian Popplewell, Poppy as he's known. Another new set of levers for this year. He's obviously wrecked the other ones as well. So Ian Popplewell on the front row. Plenty of characters in this championship, despite the fact that the Meerkat Denya's not out there and Mr. Potato Head's laid up in hospital. This class still full of characters and still full of talented riders as well. They get away from the line. It's looking like it might be Poppy that gets into turn one in first place, but coming around the outside there was Reese Rothwell. So it's going to be Reese that leads it. It is down into Cascades with Ian Popplewell in second place, the leading Street Fighter B runner. Mark Stanier third. Steve Bradbury was down up into fourth place. And back, Darren Smith got off to a decent start, number 50, a former Moto 450 champion with ThundersportGB. So good to see Darren up there at the top 8, and Oulton got off to a decent start, but it's Rothwell that's got the better of everyone. He also up into the top 3 of the championship, and didn't get away too badly. Look out for the number 2 rider. There goes Rothwell ahead of Stanier, Popplewell, Steve Bradbury. I saw Mick Riddle getting away there. There's Brad Davey on the Supermoto. Brad pretty a 550, leading Street Fighter C's. Tony Hughes, number 35, reigning champion and current championship leader in Street Fighter C. Of course, the class is separated by engine size and capacity. They all score points in total, though, in the HEL Performance Street Fighter Extreme standings, which is one of the championships we've been focusing a lot on this year, because some of these Street Fighter B and C riders have been able to get themselves wins in the past. Across the line to complete that lap, though, is Reese Rothwell. And he just uses all the curve on the exit there. Martin Stanier shadowing him, putting in an identical lap time as they head down into Cascades. The pair of them just pulling away from the rest of the field now. Ian Popplewell, of course, down on power considerably compared to Stanier and Rothwell. So Rothwell out there on that triangle for 6.75. We saw the Meerkat Denyer try and convert his 6.75 triangle into a Street Fighter A, and varied success with it here and there. Picked up the odd win, wasn't able to win the championship on that. It was, of course, a year or two before that he was Street Fighter A champion. Last year's champion, Keith Smith, as I mentioned, hospitalised at the moment, not free racing for him on the balcony in Mexico. Probably after a few drinks, knowing Keith. There is Rockwell getting into his heats with company in the form of Martin Stanier. Martin from Stoke-on-Trent, riding for the Lady Snoots team on the Suzuki. There's Brad Davey on the Aprilia. Almost running out of room there before turning left. The sat-nav. Brad doing okay in this race. He's leading the Street Fighter C's. Under the bridge they go and down towards Lodge. Here come the race leaders, and look at the advantage they've got over Poppy. Ian Popplewell. Mind you, Poppy's got a decent lead himself over the rest of the field. Andy Basket's behind Mick Riddle and Adam Palfreman, so his Street Fighter B championship chances of the world are good. He's already got himself a decent lead before they entered this event. Rockwell is unable to get rid of Martin Stanier's interest as they complete another lap and head down once more into Cascades. Further back through the field, you can see the likes of Steve Bradbury's now fallen down to 7th ahead. Darren Smith, Brad Davey 9th. Bob Docker in 10th ahead of Rob Chisholm. Tim Daisley, Carl Doyle, Keith Warren and Barry Rudge are the remaining Street Fighter Extreme points takers. Of course, they will all score points separately in their own championships. The good thing about Street Fighters at the moment, with there being around about 24, 20 to 26 of the riders who finish the race, is pretty much guaranteed to score points in your own championship. It's then about trying to get yourself in the top 15 to score points for that Street Fighter Extreme. And then you'll get a couple of pots for your efforts at the end of the season. No sign of Barry Utting this year, the Street Fighter B champion. He was always whispered to us that he was going to retire and maybe hang up his levers, and it looks as though it may well be the case. Although I would never be surprised to see Barry back out there. He's an utterly talented rider, and hey, you know, he's maybe retired at his peak, you could say. He wasn't the youngest of riders, but he certainly was fit and very capable. There's Tony Hughes, current Street Fighter C champion, and doing too badly out there at the moment, really hanging off that KTM is Tony. KTM 660, of course, compared to Brad Davies' Aprilia 550, both of them Street Fighter C's. Stanier just seems content at the moment to sit behind Rothwell and just follow him home. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve. There's Steve Bradbury, number 56, up ahead of Adam Palfreman and Mick Riddle. Palfreman and Riddle battling for Street Fighter B podium places. Steve Bradbury, at this rate, will just miss out on a Street Fighter A podium, although he's about to be, there's another place going to be taken off him in the Street Fighter Extreme standings as Palfreman goes ahead. Here are the race leaders, though, exiting Shell Oils. It is Reece Rothwell that still leads. Martin Stanier, both of them lapping in the low 1 minute 50s. But you just get the impression at the moment Martin Stanier is just sitting and waiting for the right moment to come along before he makes a move. Down towards Hissy chicane, couple of two Street Fighter A championship protagonists, and with no Sean Goldsmith here, and with Andy Plaskett just a place or so behind them, going into Snetterton, this championship is going to be really, really close. Martin Stanier, of course, hasn't attended every single round so far, but with a decent bunch of points here, he's still well in. There's Mick Riddle. Mick, been with us since day one, rider from Peterborough, of course, racing for the RAF Motorsports Association, as well as Andrew Castle, number 45. Andrew just down in 18th place at the moment, ahead of Mark Chadwick and Al Brown. Back to complete another lap though, the race leaders, Rothwell and Stanier across the line. Stanier is that a little bit closer this time as they cross the line, and both taking quite different lines into Old Hall Corner. There is Adam Palfreman just up ahead of Mick Riddle, and they've seen off the challengers of Steve Bradbury now and are able to focus on their own battle for Street Fighter A podium. Up ahead of them, of course, Ian Popplewell, number 17. Poppy, as he's known, from Hull, sponsored by Image Registrations. And there has been a change for the lead, and Martin Stanier has pounced on Rothwell. So has Rothwell got any answer to that as we come to the closing stages of this race? Around Shell Oils they go. There was rumour, of course, that Ian Popplewell's mate Clive White was going to attend a couple of rounds this year. I hope we see him soon. But they come up to some back markers now, and that's not a great place to be running into traffic into Britain's. But nevertheless, Martin Stanier it is that leads from number 9, Reece Rothwell. Just had to sit it up a little bit there in order to get round, and that might just give Reece a sniff at a chance of victory still. He's been a long time race leader. Palfreman, looks like he's going to settle the score between himself and Mick Riddle for second on the Street Fighter B podium. They are in 5th and 6th overall. Riders head down towards Lodge though. Stanier, that is good. It may well be one of the first rider into the 49s in this lap. And up over Deers Leap and across the line they go. Martin Stanier. It's a 49.7 compared to a 50.2 of Reece Rothwell. So that's half a second Stanier's found on that lap alone. Now whether he's just had that up his sleeve the whole time or not, I'm not quite sure. Last lap flag is out, so if Reece has got anything left in the bag, he needs to be bringing it out now. Really pushing this Rothwell on that Triumph 675. The curve them head into Britain's chicane. Martin Stanier, who entered the weekend 6th overall in the championship, and just under 100 points down on Sean Goldsmith, is going to close that gap because of Sean Goldsmith's absence through his ease, nice and safe. He should have this one in the bag now. I don't think Rothwell's close enough to do any damage. No, he's not. Rothwell's settling for second place. Well, that's going to be good for Rothwell. He will. If he gets another performance like that, he will finish as the championship leader this weekend. So that's good enough. Sensible riding from Reece. There is Mick Riddle. There's number 4, Mark Chadwick, just going through. Down for the final time towards Lodge Corner, unless Stanier makes a mistake through Lodge. It's going to be his to take. It is indeed, as Rothwell comes around, the checkered flag is out. It is going to be Martin Stanier that wins here at Oulton Park. He takes the 25 points in the Street Fighter A and in the Street Fighter Extreme standings. Reece Rothwell will take second overall. Ian Popplewell, not only does he win the Street Fighter B class, but he finishes 3rd overall on the podium. So Andy Plaskett came home in 4th place, the A rider, ahead of Mick Riddle and Adam Palfreman, who we saw scrapping right at the end there.
Please put your hands together.
There you go then, there's Street Fighter A, Stanier, Rothwell and Andrew Plaskett.
Please put your hands
The
together.
Bs, Ian Popperwell, Mick Riddle and Adam Palfreman. And in the C class, Brad Davey took victory ahead of Keith Warren and Gary Paul.
In Class B, race winner Ian Popperwell. Ian, what a great race you've had today, mate.
Yeah, lovely weekend. Never really been here in the dry before, so started off a bit slow, brought my times down quicker and quicker, and really, I mean, you can't get better than this, can you? Thundersport, red hot weather, great racing, mixing it with the airs a bit, and tremendous. I'd just like to thank John Cherry from RegPlates.com for paying for the meeting, Spares Unlimited for all the parts and oil and everything he gives me, and Jane Lake for helping out. Brilliant Thundersport, all the marshals and the officials. Mint weekend. Can't wait for the next one.
That's brilliant, Ian. And rain has always been something with these race meetings that have been wet tyres, taking it very gingerly. So I've
been coming to Oulton on and off for 30 years and I've never ridden in the dry. That is the first Oulton meeting ever in the dry. Coming over the Browse Hills, going that quick, I don't know which you go, right or left. But made a great change and we got there in the end. So
fantastic. Our race winner in Class B, Ian Popperwell, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Class A on the HEL Performance Street Fighters, Martin Stanley. And Martin, another podium finish for you today and your second race win.
Yeah, great weekend, yeah, it's all come together now. We're right at the front, yeah, it's paying off. We finally got the bike how we want it, and yeah, we're doing well. It's fast enough to win, luckily.
Now, you do realise that I will be contacting you on Biker FM Street Fighter Show for more information, don't you?
I do, mate, yeah, we're all keyed up for it, ready.
How's your family involvement with this then? Do you...
It's just a family effort, yeah, we have no sponsorship, so it's just all the family, Caroline, Megan, and especially Zach, my lad, who preps the bike and gets it set up ready for us. So yeah, I'd like to thank them for putting up with me when it doesn't go too good, like.
That's a great team effort, including all of your family.
Yeah, thank you very much, yeah.
Martin, congratulations.